Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter.
This video is our American Idol reaction for Duet Night, otherwise known as my least favorite night of American Idol every season. Call it group night, call it duet night. I'm never about this night.
No, it needs to stop.
I watch Idol for like the great performances, and yeah, every now and then you get like a Genevieve and Travis performance,
Oh,
which
yeah,
was
that
really
was
good.
good.
Yeah, you get a couple that are like fireworks, and then you get a lot of them that are just sort of like sputtering, and there's people that are fighting. It feels like very briefly American Idol every season wants to be a very different reality show than what it ultimately is.
Yeah, and it just makes it so unfair to really good singers that would have had a better chance if they weren't thrown into something that they're not really going to do going forward.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I know people, you gotta do duets sometimes if you're a professional recording artist, but guess what? Usually you have more than a day to prepare whatever you're gonna do, and you probably have even more freedom with the song and the duet partner than, hey, let's all sing from the American Idol songbook of things everyone does all the time, like It's a Man's World or The Prayer, but
Yeah.
anyway, if you do like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. We have to do a pulse check first and foremost because Arthur Gunn was not even in this episode at all.
No, he wasn't, but I feel like he's going to be A-okay. He is Arthur Gunn, and I see him in top 3 at least, but I actually see him winning the show.
So
I'm not worried about him. I think if we needed to be worried, if they eliminated Arthur, we would have seen it.
It would have been a national event on American Idol. It would have gotten like 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, you can't have last time everyone's like, more Arthur, more, and then this one be like, cut.
No,
Yeah,
no, that's not happening. But the format here, I mean, let's go through the issues. I mean, number one, I think it's the limited song choice. It seems like there are only so many different songs that you can pick.
Yeah, they have like a song board, and it's kind of like, oh, if all these other songs have been chosen, now you're left with, Ariana Grande, or yeah, It's a man's world, and you're just like, what if you can't sing these songs? It's just so limited. Then you have one day to figure it out. It's just not enough time.
Or in the case of Zack Dobbins and Courtney Timmy, you basically have about one day to learn 3 different songs because you can't figure out the song. And then this is one of the more disappointing outcomes of the night because I think you and I both really, really loved Zack in his first audition, and we thought he was so cool and authentic and different.
Yeah, this really frustrated me of what happened with Zack. And I could see him getting frustrated, and I understand why he was getting frustrated. And it really sucked for Courtney, too. I mean, these two on their own have these really unique, wonderful voices. And then you put them together and they don't match up. And it feels like no matter what song they were going to sing, one of them was going to end up kind of getting screwed in this.
I actually think Courtney should have gone through still. I think she was really good, at least given the circumstances. And
yeah, she was.
I kind of think if we'll get to the chicken wing debacle later, but if you're going to put through both members of Chicken Wing, I think Courtney should have had another chance. Zack, I love Zack, but I mean, the judges, they have a point where if you're on stage, you have to find a way to just keep carrying through the performance.
I think that he got screwed on this because he's got an artist he's never really listened to, a song he's never heard. It's 5 a.m. They've already had 2 other songs. Plus, he's also doing guitar. So he's not just learning the lyrics. He is also playing. So now he's got 3 hours, 2 hours to learn all the lyrics as well as learn how to play this song. It's too much, and it's an unreasonable request. I think that they really should have just stuck with whatever it was that they were doing, the second song or the first song, and just really pounded it out. It was really the only way that they were both gonna have a chance. Going and changing it last minute like that was just too much. And for Zack specifically, he doesn't really know this at all. It was just, I don't know how he was supposed to go up there and kind of just fake through it with a song he's known for like a minute.
I think the big problem mostly is just that Zack is very, very, very green when it comes to a lot of this sort of stuff. Like, I sympathize with everything that he's going through, but I'll give an interesting take here. I think Zack going home at this point this season is great for Zack next season, because I think what Zack needed, we already know his talent is there.
I don't like it one bit.
Well, I think he's an incredibly talented guy, but
He is.
I think this gives him a chance to kind of learn the ins and outs of what a show like this requires, because it's so different than what it seems to be how he performs on a day-to-day basis.
I think the problem is just that a lot of these artists, especially with this round, are unable to just perform what they know, what they're comfortable with, what they know works with their voices. You give Zack Ariana Grande at 5:30 in the morning. Like, I don't know a lot of other artists that are really going to be able to do that either. I was kind of thinking about it, and I was just like, okay, what if my guy Arthur Gunn got Ariana Grande at 5:30 in the morning? I'm not 100% convinced that he's going to be able to figure it out. He can figure out a lot, and he's very comfortable with bluegrass and, you know, all the CCR and all that stuff, because that's his comfort. That's what he knows. That's what he's amazing at. And then you're going to give him something completely different that's out of his sort of, you know, circle of what he knows, you know, a couple hours before he's going to perform. I think he'd be able to pull it out, but I mean, most people just, this is going to happen.
I think the tough reality is, and I wish we had producer power and they came to us and were like, you can change this next season, you guys can eradicate duet night. I think this is the way this particular beast works, and it stinks for people, you know, like Zack, like other people who have a very particular genre. I hope, though, Zack learns from this experience, and Courtney too, that they can.
Well, that's the thing, right? Yeah. Like, it's, what if they gave Courtney CCR? Like, that's not good for her voice either, and that's why the thing going forward that I'd really like to see them sort of change up is how these partners are put together, because it feels almost like, you know, Zack was on a bit of an island on his own with his voice, because it's quite different than everyone else. So to be able to partner him up with somebody properly was going to be difficult. So then that ends up leaving situations where there are people that are mismatched. If producers just came in and matched everybody, we might have a better duet.
I kind of just feel like no matter what, this is always going to be a hot mess. I don't know. Like, it might be better that way. I will say an example of why producers picking it might help is because Johnny and Margie, I think on paper, you look at the two of them and you're like, oh, Johnny West, Margie Mays, they've been dating for years. They're going to be great. But the problem is that I think that they have so much emotional stakes built up in each other, where they feel like they need to do well. They need to do well for themselves. They need to do well for each other. I think you're putting so much more on them that they can't really think about just their own chances. And I think that leads to a performance where it felt like both of them were kind of straining a little bit, because neither one of them wanted to try to outshine the other person, and they wanted to make sure they didn't disappoint the other person. And it just got a little bit too chaotic, and I think Johnny is especially straight up one of the most talented people on this season.
Yeah, he is. It was really hard to watch him struggling like that.
Yeah, and I mean, both of them did make it through, and, you know, they'll have another chance, but I just think this format is not perfect. And, you know, we have situations, I mean, the Peyton Madison chicken wing debacle, I think that would have probably happened regardless, because there's always going to be one pairing that doesn't work out. But it's just like, you know, this just doesn't feel like American Idol to watch two people sit around and fight over choices and whether or not they're committed. And
well, that's the thing. It felt like, you know, Peyton just wasn't there. Like, he's up in his room eating chicken wings. He's doing whatever. He's forgetting the lyrics. He's changing piano, guitar. They're not even able to have a sound check with what they were going to be using. Like, and Madison was just sort of the steady, the constant. She's there. She wants to be there. She needs to go through. She hasn't done anything wrong. She's been trying to be supportive of Peyton, and he's just kind of so scattered all over the place. I just don't like this format, because then it really does screw over people like Madison, who's like, yeah, man, I'm here to do this. I'm ready. Let's do it. And then Chicken Wing McGee is up there eating chicken wings and not down there. And like, it's too all over the place. And it really does give these really great singers like Madison a bit of a short end of the stick for no reason. And if she had actually ended up going home tonight, this would have been a very different video.
There's just also the forgetting words aspect of it, because I think you less than 24 hours to learn something. We talked about this with Francisco and Louie already, where a song like Break Even, it's got a lot of words in its verses. It's hard to learn something that fast, especially when I don't think they're getting the song list before that day, so they can't really practice any of it. I mean, I'm sure some of them luck out that some songs they already know are on the list, but otherwise you're kind of just screwed. I mean, luckily, people like Louie and people like Francisco, they both still get to move forward.
Yeah, they do, and we will have a video linked for you below. They released that early, their performance a little early, so we dipped in a little early because we really like these two, and so that's down below for you.
All right, well, let's talk about a couple of the notable exits that we had beyond just sort of some of the stuff that we've talked through already. I mean, Zack, obviously, notable one.
I don't like that he's gone.
I mean, we have lost Space Cowboy of Cat and Space Cowboy fame. I know he has another actual name, but I like calling him Space Cowboy.
Yes, Alex, he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected that they were probably going to split up one duo. Idol loves to do that. They love to make the moment where they're like, only one of you gets to move forward. And, I think inevitably it's probably going to happen to Johnny and Margie, too, before this is all over. We lose Hannah Prestridge, who had that really sort of big, powerful storyline earlier this season.
But we did see Grace Lear go through, and I'm not a country person, like, at all, but I'm a Grace person. I really like her voice. Every time I've heard her, it's just been getting stronger and stronger, so I'm really glad she went through.
I do like the unpredictability of Idol, where, they kind of unceremoniously send Hannah home halfway through this episode, and she doesn't even really get that much of a, screen time in it. They're just like, oh yeah, by the way, goodbye, Hannah, and then that's it. I root for her, and I hope she does come back, and she does another chance to really shine at this, but that kind of marks the end of her. But, okay, we have one more thing to talk about here, and the best performance of the night by far.
Genevieve and Travis.
Yeah.
Woo! So good. Holy smokes. That was amazing.
The other thing I actually liked about it is, their vocals were really good, and their harmonies were nice, and they actually kept this on the right pace, but it was almost like when they were done, they just seemed so happy for each other. It was really infectious. Travis has got the best smile, I think, on the entire season of the show, and they have really infectious energy. I think they channeled the emotion well. They supported each other.
And I think that's what made it as good as it was. You could tell that they were supporting each other, that they were lifting each other's voices up. It was nice.
And this is why I'm hoping that Zack comes back, because Genevieve had been to Idol before in Hollywood Week, so I think she knew a little bit about what this was like, and I kind of feel like getting more reps at this sort of thing, it can be very, very good, but at the same time, I don't know if we need any more reps in this format. We can just find a way to do all solo performances. You need another gimmick, we'll give you a gimmick. You can all go and borrow costumes from the Masked Singer and go perform as those.
Or just have theme night like they do on Dancing with the Stars, except for singing, where it's everybody's singing Disney, everybody's singing bluegrass, everybody's doing whatever. We need to, the people on this show. There's only one American Idol. There is no reason to put them in groups. There is zero reason to put them in duets. None of this needs to happen. Like, just stop it, Idol.
I can't wait for Dress as Your Favorite ABC Character Week, where everyone just fights for Meredith Grey, and then somebody comes out dressed as Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. But, giving you guys advice. These are right. You can change this week with this. But, alright, well, we'll wrap this video up. But, who did you like on American Idol's Duet Night? Is this entire just exercise one of futility, or did you find good performances? Let us know in the comments, and if you did like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.